First of all, I feel like it makes sense to give a little disclaimer to the advice I'm about to share in this video because I'm aware there are certain group of people. You are all out to be a career person, all right? You've gone to school, you have this drive, you have this motivation, and you are saying to yourself, I want to go to the highest point in this choosing career. You could be an engineer, you could be a medical doctor, you could be a lawyer, whatever it is. You've said to yourself, I want to get to the highest possible, position in this career. I'm telling you, it's very achievable, and you want to knock yourself out. The problem is, a lot of people have actually tried to box everybody into the same container, which is trying to suggest that you having a job is for everybody. At the end of the day, from my 45 years of living in this world, I want to tell you that having a job is not for everybody. There are certain group of people that are cut out to be employed, and they are going to be happy, being employed. And there are certain group of people that kind of feel like there is certain things, that the universe have equipped them with. They feel it in their bones. They feel it whenever they go out. They want to serve people. They are always looking for an alternative way, to be self-sustaining. They are always looking for a way to create this money instead of just waiting for a paycheck. All right. At the end of the day, I understand that we all are going to be employed in one way or the other. If you are somebody that renders services to people, you are still invariably employed by the people to which you render service. So, but in any case, I'm just saying that, look, this job thing, you sending an application to get a job and begin to climb, the career ladder is not going to be for everybody. I'm going to talk to those people that you have said to yourself, I think there's something different about me. I want to create wealth. I want to create money. I want to, use every facility at my disposal. Now we are living in days of AI. You might be thinking, I want to see how it's going to be possible to use AI, to make money. When I was coming up in this game, it was the days of reselling, and reselling was the thing. I said to myself, I want to see how I can also, make money on the internet. It was the days of drop shipping. People were doing all sort of stuff. Content creation was also at its peak at the time. I said to myself, with these two things, there's just no way I'm going to put in an untold amount of effort and not get to the end of this tunnel. I'm right now still in it. I'm putting in every input that I can. Of course, I'm not there yet, but I'm very optimistic that success is just right at the corner. Having said that, if you are in 2026 and you are finally at the crossroad and you are saying to yourself, I want to take a leap of faith, all right? This is how you go about it. See, I woke up this morning to talk about this video. So it's not going to be in a particular order. It's going to be according to how I see fit. If I receive any information of exactly what I did or what I wished I would have done, I'm just going to drop it. But if I see that, the video is kind of received favorably, like people click on the like button, people, like the video, I might as well come back here and make a more structured version of this video. See, if you want to make money online, there are certain things that has to be in place. You see, your life situation is a very major thing that has to be in place. See, if you have a job, which I would naturally advise you to do, let's even start for the job thing. I would advise that you have a job, all right? But you want to have a job that's not going to mentally task you, or preferably a job that will also not physically task you. This job is going to be that, it's going to be your lifeline to pay all your bills, because the fact that you want to begin to make money on the internet doesn't finally make you immune to, the cost that's going to come from you living in a system. If you live in Germany, there's going to be a lot of costs. You're going to pay your rent, your water supply, your light bills, internet and stuff like that. If you have a car, you also have to pay that, right? The thing is, you have to have a job that will give you 100% guarantee that you can meet those, demands at the end of the month, because there is no greater stress than you not being able to fulfill your obligation, especially if you also have a family, like a wife. If you are not able to fulfill your part of the deal, perhaps your wife and yourself, you are doing a contributory, system. If you are not able to meet your own part, especially when your wife is able to meet hers, you are going to be under the fire, under the bus, under the table, whatever you want to call it, because that will be a nagging point from your wife to come at you. You're going to be bashed from right, left, and center. So what you want to do is to ensure that you have a job. And if you also have kids and you're not able to provide for them, give them, basic minimum provision, like taking them to McDonald's, taking them for some short trips, that will be a bad point, because sooner or later the kids are going to look up to you and try to say that, look, why is daddy not, doing these things, especially when mama is doing it. So it might be a little bit of a friction. You want to have that job in place. There's no gainsaying the fact that that job is going to help you out, in difficult situations. It's going to help you that you are not constantly under the radar of those that want to badmouth whatever you are doing. So that job will be as basic as possible. It will be able to pay your bills. So if your bills amount to $800 or 800 euros at the end of the month, that job should be able to, give you a minimum of 900 euros, better still 1,000 euros, so that you can actually meet those expenses. And on the legal side, you are also contributing to the social system, which keeps you, from harm's way. And one thing you want to do is to hack that job location. You do not want to walk, 300 kilometers from where you live. If you live, in this place, point A, you want to have that job in point A. It doesn't matter what kind of job it is, because it could just be you working a service station, a gas station, or a restaurant. That job has to be where you live. Of course, I know that there's going to be, not everybody will have this luxury of having this job, where they live. But this should be your principal consideration whenever you're thinking about, taking a job for this purpose, which is you have a future end state that you have in mind, and you are saying to yourself, I want to achieve it come what may. This is where the game starts. You have to have a job that enables you save a lot of time. You do not want to walk 70 or 80 kilometers away. Yes, if you look within your immediate radius and you cannot find anything, then you want to begin to go like 2 kilometers outside where you live, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, up to 5 kilometers. When anything above 10 kilometers, please, I want to advise you to stay away from jobs like that, right? If you do not have a car. If you have a car, of course, you could do up to 20 kilometers, which is at the maximum, all right? And another hack to that job is that it should be a job that starts in the morning. That was why I talked about a service station or a gas station, all right? Because most gas stations, you can actually go into this job at about 5 o'clock in the morning, because that is a great hack. You want to stay away from jobs that will tell you to come and resume at 9 o'clock, because what they are trying to do, they are trying to mess up your whole day. You're going to be shocked how trapped you are going to be, all right? You want to start a job, but if the job is actually where you live, let's say you live at this particular address and the job is just 3 minutes walk, you can start at 9 o'clock. It's not a problem. But I'm talking about if you have to go 20 kilometers, especially with the public transport system, and the employer or the potential employer is telling you we resume at 9 o'clock, I'm telling you 2 hours before 9 o'clock, you're on your way, and 2 hours after 9 o'clock, you are still not home, and your whole day is going to be messed out and going to be messed up, and you have absolutely no power left to do anything. So the first hack, get a job where you live, preferably exactly, in the same spot, or if you have to go a little bit further, not more than 10, 15, up to 20 kilometers, if you have a car, all right? So when that job is in place, you now want to take a look at how you can begin to build skills that are needed. In my own case, editing was a particular skill that was trendy 3, 4, 5, up to 7 years ago. Content creation was a particular skill that was trending. Coding was a skill that broke everything. It made a lot of people become financially free. In my own time, I'm talking about my time, because I don't know when you're going to be seeing this video. It's possible you will see this video, I don't know, 10 years from now, where coding is no longer trending. At the moment, coding is no longer trending, but content creation is still very much in trend, because a lot of the big platforms, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, they have a lot of programs in place that you can actually use for monetization. You want to begin to learn the trending, skill in your own time. If it's content creation, like it's still what is happening in my own time, go for it. What that will naturally mean is that you want to consume every content that you can find on being a better storyteller, being a better person on camera. You see, don't get it twisted. When I started, this is something you can easily see. Go back to my old videos. I was so rusty. I couldn't process my thoughts like this. I'm not saying that I'm already there, but I have become considerably better. I didn't take any course from any guru. I just kept making video with my camera in front of me. A long time ago, I was using a conventional camera, but right now, I'm just using my phone, my iPhone, and I feel like the iPhone has the best camera. I don't know, perhaps this is just me, but I feel like it's so comfortable. I bring it out, I hang it up. I already have everything dialed in, the lighting, focus, everything. I don't have to worry about all the settings, which is also a time waster. I'm going to come to that, all right? The how do you say it? The more you can reduce the time between which you bring out your phone or your camera and speak to it, that's already a good sign if you're going to be successful or not. If it takes you 3 days to have an idea before bringing it out to life, you're going to be standing on a very, very long thing. See, I bring out my camera, I press record, I am gone. Like I said, didn't start today, started many years ago. See, you want to continue to learn these skills. If it is coding, this is just me using coding as an example. This is not a particular skill that is so trendy anymore. Depending on your generation or where you live, at the particular time of the year you are in, or the season in the world, you are going to find out that the certain thing is trendy. So when you come from work, that's what you're going to be involved in. You see, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because people are going to call you all sorts of names. You're going to be called selfish. You're going to be called crazy. You're going to be called somebody that has lost his mind. This is the difficult part. When people tell you about how difficult it is to be self-employed or have a business or get something off the ground, this is what they are talking about. The point where you are not good enough to be recognized or nothing is working, but you can see the end state. You can see that there's going to be a time where things are going to be better. Just like I'm telling you now that, look, there was a time where I couldn't speak. I open my mouth to talk. My mouth becomes so dry. I don't know what to say. I'm like, nothing comes out. Now, this is where I am. So what I mean is, if you keep putting in the work, you are going to get there. But the problem is, a lot of people are not going to see that end state that you see. You are the only one that can see it with your eyes. And because of that, people are just going to take a look at you and, what are you doing again? Are you back again to the basement doing the same thing that's not working? Come to your family. Come and spend time with us. Why don't you cook with us? Why don't you go out with us? It's so sunny. Why don't you want to go out with us? Man, your default answer is going to be no to almost like pretty much everything. Come for a birthday? No. Come for no. You're going to keep saying no until the point where people can now leave you alone. And when you begin to see those things happening, you know that you are on the very right path because this is how the universe has coded it. You have to see those indicators. People are going to call you that, look, I think you just dropped off. This guy is never available for anything. He never wants to do anything with us. That will put a major strain on your relationships, relationship between your parents, your siblings, your wife, if you are married, your kids. But I want to tell you, you want to stay locked in that process. Stay locked in because I tell you, this is what you need to unlock the next level, because the more you do that thing, the more you get better and the more you begin to attract those results that you seek. In my own case, I saw that reselling was it. I went all in. It's been 13 years of doing the same thing. I went all into content creation. I can say to you that for reselling, I have seen it all. I chose a niche. I stood with that niche, looked for a very good supplier, built a very good relationship. I enjoyed discount from this supplier that already gives me a better position in the market, because the biggest problem you're going to be having is when you go shop for inventories and you come to the market and realize that your prices are not the best. This is a major stress, all right? Because you will not be able to sell those items. Of course, give and take, you will sell them. But if you already enjoy a 15 or 20% discount upfront from your supplier, that's a beautiful place to be, and that doesn't come just overnight. You have to keep working for it. The supplier finds you worthy and they just want to help you also. Sometimes it's just a case of the supplier just having a kind of feeling to be human and just like, this guy is really struggling, kind of trying to make things happen. And most times, if it's a conscientious supplier, the owner of that company is going to take a look back at when he also started and how much he desired this kind of help. Most times they're going to say, don't worry, we can just split the profit with you. Take 10%, take 15%, and let's get things going there. 15% might not be something that might be attainable, pretty soon in your journey, but 5%, 3% is already something that you can actually enjoy. When you have that, keep locking in on that process. Whatever it is that you have chosen, I chose content creation. I chose editing because I had to perfect my editing skills. I chose reselling, which I am still very much in. And because I had a job at the time that was a job that enabled me to be able to come home, sit on my computer nonstop, and the job was so good at the point that I was able to even do what I had to do for my company while being at work, because that company at the time was an online-based company. I had to do some, I had to take care of some database online. So it doesn't really matter where I was. I could sit on my desk, doing the job while also checking what was trending, what I could sell, and stuff like that. So one way or the other, you need to look for a job that's going to, go very well with this particular lifestyle that you are going to build. And the thing is, you want to apply patience to all these combinations, right? You want to be patient, keep doing what you have to do. See, there's a point where you have to do the basic minimum. You going to work, pay your bills. This is a basic minimum that you can do. Coming home to set up things, set up an offer. I will keep referring to what I did. I was a reseller, posting an offer on eBay, posting on Facebook Marketplace. That was a bare minimum that I could do. There is a point where the universe is going to take over all this effort that you are putting in. At that point, opportunities are going to come. And because you're already prepared, you've gotten the requisite skills, you've gotten, everything dialed in. When the opportunity comes, you will not blow it up. An opportunity would now be in the form of, let's say I post a video, this video right here, and it blows up on YouTube, all right? That's an opportunity. It blows up, you get a lot of views, YouTube pays you, and not only that YouTube pays you, you have the possibility of connecting with some big brand that kind of see through what a lot of the normal viewers see. It's some big brand, they are able to identify a talent when they see such, and that could just be the beginning of things turning around for you, because somebody could identify you and say, hey, I think I want to work with you. Hey, I think you've gotten what we are looking for. We are looking for somebody to manage this brand, to manage this product or something like this. Or if you are a reseller, in my own case, you could just be fortunate. This is something that the universe can organize itself. You come into a company and they tell you that, look, we've gotten 500 pieces of particular mini PCs to sell for cheap. And you are there at the time. You can even get this product and go and sell them and bring money back to them. Guys, I'm telling you, the opportunities are just, amazing. For me, one thing that also happened was that I stumbled upon a niche that I would ordinarily not have thought of. I would not have thought that this is a niche that pretty much prints money on the internet. I stumbled upon it just because I was in this game. I was preparing myself on how to make content, learned how to edit, and me pretty much just being available for whatever the universe was going to bring my way. And this content, niche came, and I took advantage of it, made a lot of money on YouTube, and still making money today. This is the thing that can happen. These are the little things. Like I said, it's not in any particular order. Definitely, I'm going to make a part 2 of this video. There are so many little hacks. Another hack that you want to do is to stay away from conflict as much as you can, because you need your mind to be single in this process. If you are somebody that's always ruminating over what people did, what your work colleague did, what your wife did to you, and because of that, you spend 3 or 4 hours just, wasting over thinking about the things that people did that wasn't right to you, that is also not a good thing. That is a hack that you have to avoid. You have to avoid it at all costs. Somebody is coming to you with problems, run away, because you know that you need your mind, you need your brain, your head to be at peace when you come back from your work and begin to put in the work that you have to put in. Guys, this is not all. It's not something I can say in 20 minutes. I'm talking about 13 years of experience, learning the things that work, constantly being beaten down, rising up again and realizing that this doesn't work, this works, and this is the best way to go about this. This is what I am trying to share with you, and definitely 20 minutes is not enough. If you want to see the part 2 of this video, please go ahead, be subscribed to the channel, click on the like button, comment on the video. Let me know what you think, what I've gotten wrong, or what you think I need to improve. Until I see you again in the next video, peace out.